Hello, everybody. This is Epic Brony. Welcome to another reading. Today, I'll read you the story of Eragon by Christopher Paolini. One lord, one dragon, a world of adventure. When Eragon finds a polished blue stone in the forest, he thinks it is the lucky discovery of a poor farm boy. Perhaps it will buy his family meat for the winter. But when the stone brings the dragon hatchling, Eragon soon realizes he has stumbled upon a legacy nearly as old as the Empire itself. Overnight, his simple life is shattered, and he is thrust into a perilous new world of destiny, magic, and power. With only an ancient sword and the advice of an old storyteller for guidance, Eragon and the flesh-linked dragon must navigate the dangerous terrain and dark enemies of an empire ruled by a king whose evil knows no bounds. Can Eragon take up the mantle of the legendary dragon riders? The fate of the empire may rest in his hands. And so, our story begins. Prologue. Shade of Fear. Wind howled through the night, carrying a scent that would change the world. A tall shade lifted his head and sniffed the air. He looked human except for his crimson hair and maroon eyes. He blinked in surprise. The message had been correct. They were here. Or was it a trap? He weighed the odds, then said icily, "Spread out, hide behind trees and bushes, so whoever is coming, or die." Around him shuffled 12 Urgles with short swords and round iron shields painted with black symbols. They resembled men with bowed legs and thick, brutish arms made for crushing. A pair of twisted horns grew above their small ears. The monsters hurried into the brush, grunting as they hid. Soon the rustling quieted and the forest was silent again. The shade peered around a thick tree and looked up the trail. It was too dark for any human to see, but for him the faint moonlight was like sunshine streaming between the trees. Every detail was clear and sharp to his searching gaze. He remained unusually quiet, a long pale sword in his hand. A wider than scratch curved on the blade. The weapon was thin enough to slip between a pair of ribs, yet stout enough to hack through the hardest armor. The Urgles could not see as well as the shade. They groped like blind beggars, fumbling with their weapons. Now screeched, cutting through the silence. No one relaxed until the bird flew past. Then the monster shivered in the cold night. One snapped a twig with his heavy boot. The shade hissed in anger, and the Urgles shrank back, motionless. He suppressed his distaste. They smelled like fatigued meat, and turned away. They were tools, nothing more. Shade forced back his impatience as the minutes became hours. The scent must have wafted far ahead of its owners. He did not let the Urgles get up or warm themselves. He denied himself those luxuries, too, and stayed behind the tree, watching the trail. Another gust of wind rushed through the forest. The smell was stronger this time. Excited, he lifted a thin lip and a snarl. "Get ready," he whispered, his whole body vibrating. The tip of his sword moved in small circles. He had taken many plots and much pain to bring himself to this moment. It would not do to lose control now. Eyes brightened under the Urgle's thick brows, and the creatures gripped the weapons tighter. Ahead of them, Shade heard a clink as something hard struck on loose stone. Faint smudges emerged from the darkness and advanced down the trail. 3 white horses with riders catered toward the ambush, their heads held high and proud, their coats rippling in the moonlight like liquid silver. And the first horse was an elf with pointed ears and elegantly slanted eyebrows. His spear was limp but strong, like a rapier. A powerful bow was slung on his back. A sword pressed against his side opposite a quiver arrows flushed with swan feathers. The last rider had the same fair face and angry features as the other. He carried a long spear in his right hand and a white dagger at his belt. A helm of extraordinary craftsmanship, wrought with amber and gold, rested on his head. Between these two rode a raven-haired elven lady, who surveyed her surroundings with poise. Framed by long black locks, her deep eyes shone with a driving force. Her clothes were unadorned, yet her beauty was undiminished. At her side was a sword, and on her back a long bow with a quiver. She carried in her lap a pouch that she frequently looked at, as if to reassure herself that it was still there. One of the elves spoke quietly. The shade could not hear what was said. The lady answered with obvious authority, and her guard switched places. The one wearing the helm took the lead, shifting his spear to a readier grip. They passed the shade's hiding place and the first few Urgos without suspicion. The shade was already saving his victory when the wind changed direction and swept towards the elves, heavy with the Urgos' stench. The horses snorted with alarm and tossed their heads. The riders stiffened, eyes flashed from side to side, then wheeled their mounts around and galloped away. The lady's horse surged forward, leaving her guards far behind. Forsaking their hiding, the Urgos student released a stream of black arrows. The sheikh jumped out from behind the tree, raised his right hand, and shouted, "Gosla!" A red bolt flashed from his palm toward the elfin lady, illuminating the tree with a bloody light. It struck her steed, and the horse took with a high-pitched squeal, plowing into the ground chest first. She lifted up the animal with inhuman speed, and landed lightly, then glanced back for her guards. The Urgos' deadly arrows quickly brought down the two elves. They fell from the noble horses, blood pooling in the dirt. As the Urgos rushed the slain elves, Shay screamed, "After her! She has what I want!" The monsters grunted and rushed down the trail. A cry tore from the elf's lips as she saw her dead companions. She took a step toward them, then cursed her enemies and bounded into the forest. While the Urgos crashed through the trees, the Shay climbed a piece of granite that jutted above them. From its perch he could see all of the surrounding forest. He raised his hand and uttered, "Distillery Botek," and a quarter-mile section of the forest exploded into flames. Grimly he burned one section after another until there was a ring of fire, a half flick across around the ambush site. The flames looked like a molten crown resting on the forest. Satisfied, he watched the ring carefully in case it should fall true. The land of band of fire thickened, contradicting the area that the Urgos had to search. Suddenly the Shade heard shouts and a coarse scream. Through the trees he saw 3 of his chargers fall into a pile, mortally wounded. He caught a glimpse of the elf running from the remaining Urgos. She fled toward the craggy piece of granite at a tremendous speed. The Shade examined the ground 20 feet below, then jumped and landed nimbly in front of her. She skidded around and sped back to the trail. Black Urgo blood dripped from her sword, staining the pouch in her hand. The horned monsters came out of the forest and hemmed her in, blocking the only escape routes. Her head whipped around as she tried to find a way out. Seeing none, she drew herself up with regal disdain. The Shade approached her with a raised hand, allowing himself to enjoy her helplessness. "Get her." As the Urgos surged forward, the elf pulled open the pouch, reached into it and then let it drop to the ground. In her hands was a large sapphire stone that reflected the angry light of the fires. She raised it over her head, lips forming frantic words. Desperate, the Shade barked, "Garsla!" A ball of red flame sprang from his hand, flew toward the elf, fast as an arrow. But he was too late. A flash of emerald light briefly illuminated the forest, and the stone vanished. Then the red fire smote her and she collapsed. Shade howled in rage and struck forward, flinging his sword at a tree. It passed halfway through the trunk, where it stuck, quivering. He shot 9 bolts of energy from his palm, which killed the Urgos instantly. The rich sword flinging straight to the elf. Prophecies of revenge, spoken in a rich language only he knew, broke from his tongue. He clenched his thin hands and glared at the sky. The cold stars stared back, unwinking, otherworldly watchers. This guy's curved lips before it turned back to the unconscious elf. Her beauty, which would have entranced any mortal man, held no charm for him. He confirmed that the stone was gone, then retrieved his sword from his hiding place among the trees. After tying it after the saddle, he mounted the charger and made his way out of the woods. He quenched the fires in his path, but left the rest to burn.